So, my arm still hurts. Well, my shoulder. Um, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't help that I sleep on my right side or my left side, which is the more comfortable side to sleep on. It's only more comfortable because I don't sleep on my right often. It's typically on my left shoulder. Then I have my laptop open because I'll watch something before I go to sleep, and then I go to sleep. Yeah, I've tried a few times just sleeping on my back and trying to get used to sleeping in that position, but it never really works. I try and then I just don't, and then I end up resorting back to sleeping on my side. But now that my arm's starting to hurt, I just started sleeping on the other side, which is still awkward. It still feels odd, but it's doable. It's more doable compared to sleeping flat on my back. But I also want to say that it's never too late. It's never too late for you to choose to be better than you were yesterday. That could be that could be taken as academically if you're still in school or you're in college, or in terms of relationships with people, family, friends, partners, or just yourself, treating yourself better, being more understanding with yourself. And the biggest one is just choices in general. You know, you'll still suffer the consequences of whatever previous choices you've made, but you can always, at any moment, choose to be better than you were, no matter how fucked up you were before. You can always choose to be better. Even if you've never done anything and you've only had thoughts, you can still choose to be better. You can choose to not ignore the thoughts, but actively push against them. Maybe eventually they'll start coming up, they'll stop popping up, you know? Or maybe they keep going, maybe they keep coming to the forefront of your mind, but it just gets easier and easier and easier to stop thinking about it, or stop doing it, or stop saying it, or stop listening to it, or whatever it is, you know? It doesn't matter what it is. You can choose to be better than you were before, be it a day ago, 2 days ago, a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 100 years ago. You could have been a marauder, pillaging and slaying entire families and villages because you genuinely enjoyed the thrill and the power and strength you felt conquering those weaker than you. But then you choose to not do that anymore, Various reasons. Maybe a partner doesn't like it, or maybe you have a dream that opens your eyes to their suffering. But because you've done it for so long, you still have the feeling of doing it, and you still may want to. Or maybe you have an incredibly strong will and you can just stop doing it. Then, despite the thoughts coming, you don't feed into them and you just ignore them. Yes, they're thoughts, but they're not my thoughts. Yes, they're desires, but they're not my desires. So then 100 years later, you're almost unrecognizable. At least to those who knew you. Some may think something's wrong with you. You've changed in a bad way because you're no longer the fun, pillaging Hulk, we knew before. But others may find it admirable, and others may not care. Either way, it's your choice to be better or worse or the same as you were yesterday. As far as you know, you're the one in control of the controller. You're the one playing the game as far as you know. On a quantum level, yeah, there may be someone else controlling your fingers and controlling your brain that causes the fingers to do things with your controller. But as far as you know, you're the one in control, and that's all that matters. Even if one day your eyes open to the bigger picture, once that moment passes, you're still in the illusion of being in control. And even if you're no longer, you no longer have that illusionary wall there, still. Because that just means either you're bound to the person that's controlling you, or the person controlling you is bound by you choosing your actions. And even then, it could be scaled all the way up, just like God. Who's controlling that person, controlling you, who's controlling the person that's controlling the person that's controlling that person to control you. I may have skipped a level there, I don't know. But, yeah, that's it. You can always choose to be better. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening, and have a good day.